Welcome to the internet, home of constant social interaction, selfies, and clickbait. You've probably heard me whine and grouse over the fact that my viewership is a little low for the show. But fair friends and fellow curmudgeons, that ends now. Share, like, and keep clicking as I drop mostly probably true dirt on The Walking Dead. Here is your damn rant show, folks. Greetings, I am E. Adam Thomas, and this is That Damn Rant Show. Today I begin a new chapter on the show by digging deep and bringing you the facts you need to know about AMC's smash hit,
Back to it.
The Walking Dead. Now, I warn you, some of you, what I'm about to tell you may be a little hard to take, and there may be spoilers ahead, so if you are behind on the show, you might want to just unwatch that clip I just showed.
Back to it.
Yeah, that one. Anyway.
Number 10, Norman Reedus is a freak, yo.
So apparently, during Season 5, Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl, requested to save all of Andrew Lincoln's beard clippings. Nobody knows why, and Norman is apparently quite tight-lipped about the subject. Does he have a Rick Grimes voodoo doll? Is he selling Rick stubble on eBay? Or does he use them to get free soup at restaurants? I don't know. Or could he just be cloning a giant Rick Daryl hybrid kaiju to set upon the Saviors in revenge for, well, evil Savior stuff?
Spoilers.
Yeah, that.
Number 9, British Invasion.
So 3 of the show's main cast members, Andrew Lincoln, David Morrissey, and Lenny James, are all British, and Lauren Cohen moved to London when she was 14 years old, so she's kind of British by proxy, I guess. And not one of those assholes ever thought to call Torchwood? Or Unit? What the fuck? No wonder Brexit passed.
Number 8, Rockin Daryl.
In an episode early in Season 7, Daryl is being held captive, forced to sleep naked in an empty cell while the song Easy Street plays on endless repeat. What many people don't know is that in his youth, Norman Reedus was in a garage band, and he wrote the song Easy Street before he got word of his big acting gig in 1997 for Guillermo del Toro's horror film Mimic. He insisted, since it was his favorite song from the old days, on having them use it in the show for that very episode.
Number 7, Game of Pussies.
HBO, you know, the network that brought us the crazy medieval tits and dragons show, otherwise known as Game of Thrones, actually passed on The Walking Dead, citing its violent content. HBO, where adolescent kids are being pushed out of windows for dramatic effect, is a thing that happened. As a side note, the show was also shot to NBC, but that fell through because Simon Cowell kept trying to judge the fucking walkers.
Number 6, Bandersnatch Cobblepot.
Andrew Lincoln isn't Andrew Lincoln's real name. His real last name is Clutterbuck. I think you can probably see why he changed it, of course. By the way, just to clear the slate, my real name is E. Adam Lamafalator. And no, you don't want to know what the E stands for.
Number 5, Deep Roots.
Many of the fans of The Walking Dead are, of course, aware that the TV series is based on the comic book series of the same name. But what you may not know is that the comic book was inspired by the Broadway musical Cats. The survivors are, of course, the Jellicle Cats, and the walkers represent every gruesome way Roger Waters can think of to horribly mutilate Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Number 4. Walker Preparatory Academy.
On The Walking Dead, one simply does not get bit, fall over, and start slurping cerebral pudding. In fact, in order to portray one of the undead on this show requires rigorous training and coaching. One of the most important instructions they are given is to look like they are staggering out of a bar at 2 o'clock in the morning. Minus the half-conscious blonde you dosed with rohypnol, you sick bastard.
Number 3. Low self-opinion, man.
Negan has become by far the most popular and charismatic bad guy in recent television history, second only to Donald Trump. But did you know that Henry Rollins, the badassiest of the badasses from Black Flag and Rollins Band fame, almost got the part? In fact, in a bizarre twist of fate, Rollins was the inspiration for the character in the comics book series. I gotta tell ya, that had to be one fucking brutal decision for the casting director. I mean, seriously, would you want either one of these guys pissed off at you?
Number 2. Crossover appeal.
It has long been debated that Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead may indeed exist in the same fictional universe. From the car that Glenn procures in Season 1 to Daryl's references to his brother being a drug dealer for a janky little white guy, and even showing a full bag of drugs that includes some of Walter White's special blue meth. This is not by accident, as Bryan Cranston has been in talks with the producers to appear on the show as a walker who can talk, presumably as a consequence of the exposure to his own product somehow, protecting portions of his brain that rely on the speech center. Whether this ends up being an elaborate cameo or a significant plot point remains to be seen.
Number 1. A rose by any other name.
Ever notice nobody ever says the word zombie on the show? They never even play that annoying Cranberries song in the background or anything. Kind of odd for a show about zombies, don't you think? But in fact, it is intentional. The producers wanted the show to exist in a world where George Romero was a stockbroker, not a filmmaker, so the zombie movie paradigm never existed, leaving our characters, at least at first, completely clueless as to how to cope with this disaster. This keeps the show unique and original, and spared Daryl from having to listen to that song in his cell this year. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is the big answer? The big answer is that 3 of the 10 items I just mentioned are complete and utter bullshit. One of them is probably pretty obvious. Shut up, Idris. But the other 2, maybe not quite so much. If you are the first to correctly identify all 3 bogus items, you will win the grand and illustrious That Damn Ranch Show prize pack, consisting of bragging rights for being right, my respect and admiration, and the restoration of at least 2 IQ points from having to watch this fucking dumpster fire of a show. Anyway, if anything I have said today offended you or upset you in some way, good. If you agree with everything I said, awesome. Either way, let me know by commenting on this video, looking up That Damn Ranch Show on Facebook or Angry Men Reviews, emailing me, finding me on Twitter, whatever. I really want to hear from you, especially if I pissed you off. And don't forget to send me your guesses as to which Walking Dead things were bogus. Until next time, anyone for pickled ham? Angry Men Reviews. Many fucks said, no fucks given. Let's wear the clip for Daryl listening to Zombie. Gandhi.